Hi guys, this is Bloody Wheels. Today I am here answering a very common question I get multiple times per day, both on YouTube, eBay, Instagram. And that question is, can you design a sleeve for X firearm using X magazine? And guys, my answer is more often than not is always going to be no. And here's the reason. To design, I have to have the firearm and the mag in hand, plus weeks, if not months of design time to do the design work on the computer. And after I design it, I have to print it out because just because it shows up on screen doesn't mean it's going to fit exactly the way it's supposed to. So I print this item out, I test fit it, I go back to the drawing board and make necessary changes, and this happens over and over and over. And in fact, the first item I did was for the G2C, the 18 round sleeve for the MetGuard P226 magazine. That took many weeks to design that sleeve. And I was first starting out, so it took a lot longer. But to design from scratch, I mean, it took quite a bit of work to do that. So I have to have the firearm in hand and the magazine. So in order to do that, I have to own the firearm or have access to it. And I mentioned in one of the previous videos, this firearm started it all, started the business. So I actually had already owned this firearm and carried it every day. And I just found a need to make some sleeves for myself. So that's what started the business. So I already owned that firearm. And then, I can't remember which happened next, but then I acquired this Taurus TCP. And I found that ProMag made a 10 round magazine for it, so I designed the sleeve for it. But once again, I own this firearm, so it was no problem, and it took many weeks to design, trial and error, then I finally got it. So I designed the sleeve for it. And some of the firearms I didn't own, but I decided to invest in. For example, the TH9C came out, and I thought that was going to be a very, very popular firearm. I mean, I don't know if it is or not. I mean, you see more of the G2C and the G3 selling over the TH9C. But I decided to invest in it. I think I invested around, I don't know, with the magazines that I bought and the firearm itself, maybe $300 and some $400. And I wanted that investment return, and it has. I designed the replacement sleeves for it because when you bought, at the time, extra magazines, Taurus didn't give you the sleeve. So I decided to invest in that firearm, and it's been beneficial to me. And when the Taurus G3 was announced to come out, yeah, I jumped right on top of that because some of the same magazines that function in the G2C I knew were going to work in the G3 if they were long enough, and they did. And in fact, I designed a sleeve for the stock magazine too because I know some of you guys were going to want colors, and that looks really sweet with my favorite color, red. So yeah, I invested in that firearm. I had no need otherwise. I mean, I'm completely fine with the G2C, but I decided to invest in that firearm to make products for. And it's been, once again, beneficial to me for that investment there. And so then I moved on to the next firearm. I've seen the Sky CPX 1 and 2s sell like hotcakes. And when I purchased this one, there was a huge rebate going on, so I got this one pretty cheap. So I decided to invest in it, and I didn't know how well that one was going to do because the only magazines available that I could find were from ProMag, and I'm not a huge fan of ProMag, but you know, many people are using ProMags in these firearms and they need sleeves for them. So I decided to invest in this firearm, and it's been a good investment for me to do that. And here recently I did a few videos back. I acquired the G2C in 40 cal, but I did not invest in this one. I got lucky enough to where a good friend of mine owned this firearm and he loaned it to me. So once again, I have to own the firearm or have access to it. And when I decide to invest in a firearm, I got to make sure that investment comes back. And I get a lot of questions, can you make this sleeve for this firearm? Well, I can't invest in a firearm if I can only sell a few sleeves. I can't spend all the time, all the hours, all the money purchasing the necessary the firearm and the mags to design something that I can't get my return or investment returned to me. And that's why I do not invest in some firearms. And some, the market's already saturated with items. For example, I own a Glock 26. That's not in this picture right here, but that's my carry gun. I use extended magazines for it. I've made my own sleeves for it. And I used to sell those, but they were a little unsuccessful due to the market's already saturated with the sleeves. There's many other companies making sleeves for Glocks. So there was no need for me to really get into that. And I use my Glock for everyday carry, so it's fine, but I'll no longer invest in Glock to make products for. I try to invest in firearms that are going to be really popular, but really affordable, and to meet the need for the industry that's not making products for these firearms. I think some of your bigger companies are missing out on making products for some of your quote-unquote budget guns like the G2C. There's just not a lot of products out for some of these guns. So I'm trying to fill that need the best I can. I think there's a firearm coming out soon from Palmetto State Armory. It's supposed to be a Glock 3 copy. I may be interested in it when it finally comes out. I'll do some research. I've researched a lot of guns, and some are just not worth investing in, so I don't. But yeah, I get that question a lot. Can you make me this for this for this? Well, I can't just go on the firearm. I have to have that in hand as well as the magazine. So if I don't have access to any of those items, I cannot design that stuff, guys. And I only design stuff that, once again, I can get a return on my investment in my time. Because once again, these sleeves to design take many, many hours. I think when I designed, once again, the Taurus G2C, I mean, that took weeks and weeks, if not months, when I finally got it to where I liked it. So that was a lot of hours invested. So I have to make sure that at least breaks even or comes back to me as a good investment. So once again, I get that question a lot, and if you're thinking about asking me one, once again, my answer is more than likely going to be no. So sorry, I wish I can meet every one of your guys' needs, and I truly, truly appreciate the inquiry asking if I can make something. But yeah, once again, my answer is more than likely going to be no. So sorry. So once again, if you'd like to see more videos like this, don't forget to subscribe. Make sure you hit that like button. Thanks for watching. Have a good day.